not just any water. They couldn't build them next to the ocean with salty water. Oh, next to rivers. Right. So, at the first instance you ask him, he's clueless. He wasn't even there during the lecture as far as he was concerned. Until, with a little bit of prodding, he realizes, I can connect these things. This isn't so hard. My head's not going to explode if I figure out the answer to a question. Then we went over why having law in the first cities implied that they were going to have writing at some point. And when we go over writing, which we're going to do this coming week, I'm going to explain that it didn't start out as using writing for laws. It started out as using writing to keep track of transactions, commercial transactions and so forth, in Phoenician society. And eventually it was used as law, and we're teaching them about Hammurabi's law code in ancient Babylon. Now I have just one more thing I want to share with you. This is a small essay written by Cumin about Archimedes. It was written over a 2-day period, probably a total of an hour and a half effort he put in on this. A bit more than half a page, not quite 2/3 of a page probably. He's put a lot of effort into it, and the other kids are also doing writing at this. We've got a new period 2-3 times a week. We're going to just spend time writing about something. And they choose within certain limits. Caden wanted to write about the book he's reading, Tractors. That's a history of the Caterpillar Company. Very good. I read it cover to cover. Excellent. He wanted to read that, or write about that. Cumin did not want to write about the book he's reading, which is Tom Sawyer. Cumin was like upset, didn't want to write. And I said, do you want to write about something we've been doing in class? You want to write about something in science? And he's like, wow, and all the, possibility of all the Greeks that he could write about came to mind. And I said, why don't you tell me everything you could tell me about Archimedes? And man, he was on it, and he put more effort into it. He was the only one who was totally upset and didn't want to do any writing. Then we hit on something he wanted to write about, and then he was transfixed. So, here from Cumin, and I told him when he gave this to me, I said, this is excellent. What we're going to do is next week I'm going to have some black marks and red marks and stuff on it, some notes at the bottom, and you're going to go through and rewrite it. Make it longer, include some more stuff maybe from the encyclopedia, stuff we didn't go over in class. And he was like, oh, I mean, he just loved it. His face was glowing. He's like, this is a great idea. Archimedes. He found pi by doing this. He wanted to find how long a circle was, and he put a triangle in it and put another one in that upside down, and he did it till he had 96 sides, and that's how he got the number pi. Pretty good for a 9-year-old. He made the law of levers, which says that weight times distance equals weight times distance. Then paragraph, once the blacksmith was making a golden crown for the king, and the king wanted to know if it was all made of gold, so he went to Archimedes to see if it was all gold. Archimedes knew that silver was lighter than gold and the crown weighed less than it was supposed to. That means it has silver in it. And that's the end. Now, we had just gone over that bit about the crown that day, and the kids don't yet grasp volume. So the fact that the vessel overflowed a little bit with the volume of the crown being larger than it was supposed to, he said it weighed the same, or I'm sorry, it didn't weigh as much as it's supposed to, but it did. It actually weighed what it was supposed to. And that means that it was larger in volume because silver is less dense. And that all, there's a lot of stuff we got to get in there to grasp that. So they heard the story about the crown, but he's misunderstanding just a bit, which means we'll get to nail that in review. So that's all we need to do for updates right now. Thank you for your support, those of you who send contributions. The children appreciate it. The public schools do not appreciate it, and some of my own relatives do not appreciate it who work for the public schools or the public whereabouts. But the children appreciate it. Even Daniel and Brandon. Daniel, who's paying less attention than anyone, is starting to pick up on it. So lots of progress in just a week and a half. So we'll see where it goes in another month or two. I mean, my goodness.